Have you ever been listening to a song, and suddenly, out of nowhere, you feel this rush of electricity shoot up your spine? Your skin prickles, your breath catches, your whole body just stops. That feeling has a name. Scientists call it Frisson, and it's one of the rarest, most fascinating things the human brain can do. But here's the crazy part. Not everyone feels it. Only about 50% of people experience music chills at all. And if you're one of them, your brain is wired differently. Let me explain. Frisson, pronounced Frisson, is a French word that means shiver or thrill. It's that involuntary physical response when music hits you so deeply that your body reacts before your mind even catches up. Goosebumps race up your arms. A wave washes over your chest. You might even get a little teary. Scientists first started seriously studying this in the 1990s, when researcher Avram Goldstein discovered people could reliably get chills from music. And what they've found since then has completely changed how we understand the emotional power of music. When you hear a piece of music that gives you chills, your brain releases dopamine, the same chemical released when you eat delicious food, fall in love, or win something big. A study from McGill University used brain scans to prove this. When subjects heard their chill-inducing songs, dopamine surged in the striatum, the brain's reward center. But dopamine isn't the only player. Your amygdala, the part of the brain that processes emotion and fear, also lights up. This triggers your body's ancient fight or flight response, which is why chills feel like a rush of adrenaline. So your brain is essentially treating an incredibly beautiful piece of music the same way it would treat a threat or a massive reward. Your nervous system doesn't fully distinguish between extreme danger and extreme beauty. Isn't that incredible? So why do only about half of people experience this? Research points to one key trait: openness to experience. People who score high in openness, meaning they're more curious, imaginative, and emotionally sensitive, are far more likely to feel Frisson. A 2016 study found that these individuals also have stronger connections between the auditory cortex and areas linked to emotion and memory. In other words, their brains literally process music more deeply, fusing it with feelings and memories in ways other brains don't. This also explains why the same song doesn't affect everyone the same way. It's not about musical taste. It's about brain architecture. Now, you might be wondering, is there a type of music most likely to give you chills? Classical music leads the research, particularly pieces with unexpected chord changes, swelling dynamics, or a solo instrument emerging from silence. But it also happens with rock anthems, certain pop ballads, film scores, gospel, and even electronic music. The common thread isn't genre. It's tension and release. Music that builds anticipation and then delivers a moment of resolution is a recipe for chills. Think of that moment in Bohemian Rhapsody when the opera section shifts to hard rock, or the drop in a perfectly built EDM track. There's another powerful trigger that researchers often overlook: emotional memory. Music is uniquely linked to autobiographical memory. A song you heard during a pivotal moment in your life gets permanently encoded in your emotional brain. When you hear that song again, your brain doesn't just recall a memory, it literally re-triggers the emotions you felt in that moment. This is why a song you loved at 17 can make you cry at 35. Your nervous system remembers what your conscious mind has started to forget. And the more emotionally significant the original experience, the more powerful the physical reaction when that music plays again. Here's where it gets really interesting and a little strange. Frisson can be triggered by music that's technically sad or even disturbing. Minor keys, dissonance, and dark themes can cause just as powerful a chill as joyful music. Psychologists call this aesthetic chills. The brain responds to musical mastery and emotional authenticity, not just happiness. This is why someone can cry while listening to music they describe as beautiful. The tears aren't sadness. They're an overflow of emotional intensity. Your brain is essentially saying, "This is too much beauty for me to process normally. I need my whole body to help." So the natural question is, if you don't already feel frisson easily, can you train yourself to feel it? Research suggests, yes, to some extent, active, engaged listening, rather than having music on as background noise, dramatically increases the chance of experiencing chills. Specifically, researchers recommend focusing on musical structure, anticipating the next phrase, noticing transitions, and consciously feeling the tension build. Music education also plays a role. People with more musical training report Frisson more frequently, likely because they notice and appreciate structural complexity. And surprisingly, listening with other people, especially strangers who are also moved by the same music, amplifies the effect dramatically. If you regularly experience frisson, here's what the science says about you. You likely have above-average emotional intelligence. You probably feel things more deeply than others, not just in music, but in art, nature, film, and human connection. You're also more likely to be empathetic, to physically feel what others are feeling, even when it's not your own experience. And research links frisson sensitivity to higher creativity. The same neural flexibility that lets you feel music also helps you make unexpected connections in thought. So the next time someone tells you that you're too sensitive for getting chills from a song, you can tell them that's literally just your superior neural architecture doing its thing. Music chills aren't just goosebumps. They're a window into one of the most complex and beautiful functions of the human nervous system. The fact that a series of vibrations in the air can make your body shiver, your eyes water, and your dopamine surge, that's nothing short of extraordinary. The next time it happens to you, pause. Notice it. You're experiencing something rare, something deeply human, and something your brain is doing as a gift to itself. If this video gave you chills, well, that's kind of the point. Drop a comment below. Let me know the song that does it for you.